Good day, everyone. I am Javier. Together with my partner Giselle Galila, we are going to report to you the lexicography and the description of Philippine English vocabulary. Dictionaries and the stratification of vocabulary towards a new lexicography for Philippine English. As those countries where English were established through colonial dominations and or settlement, a substantial number of the words in the lexicon were created during the first stages of contact between the colonizer and colonized. Later, however, other sets of vocabulary emerged and were incorporated into the word stock of a new variety despite of mechanism of language contact and lexical innovation that characterize and creative, hybrid, and innovative of contemporary Philippine English usage. Thus far, the major references dictionaries such as Oxford English Dictionary and Merriam-Webster, we have tended the institutionalized, petrified lexicon of Philippine vocabulary, evidently derived from the era of American anthropology concerned with the study of classification of the primitive other.
So, in the rule of dictionaries and recognition of word Englishes, so the role, the uses, and the importance of dictionaries in the world Englishes is the first one is what we call the glossaries. So the glossaries is the first dictionary of the word Englishes. This dictionary created in 19th century. So the second is what we call the Noah Webster. So all of the meaning of the words were stated as facts and reliable references are all tackled in this Webster. So this Webster compiling a full national dictionary and it appears in 1828. Thus, this dictionary was published in American Dictionary of English Language. Describing the vocabulary of New Englishes. So, linguists have focused on the importance of the early contact period in contributing to the distinctiveness of New Englishes, so that have been established worldwide since the 17th and 18th centuries. Also in the Philippine context, one might speculate that during the period of Hispanic colonization, there may have been a several or a similar divide between the language of Spanish colonizer and that of the Filipinos, and the distinction of that are related to maintained in Philippine English. So, in Spanish items in contemporary Philippine English, such as cedula, fiscal, pandesal, sala, and siesta. So these items are yet known to derive in contemporary Philippine English. In the other one, where the items derived from Philippine language, is speak more readily of the lives of subsistence farmers and fishermen. So for example, bulo, kamote, karabaw, ilang-ilang, nipa, and etc. So these items was readily speak and understand. Yet there's have a differences between the Spanish derivation and the Philippine language derivation. The development of codification of the Philippine English lexicon. In the other context, in which the English was transported, new words and expressions were coined by English speakers in the Philippines as they encountered unfamiliar flora and fauna, strange peoples, and the rather different social institution indigenous to the island or the legacy of Spanish colonialism. The extract shows that almost from the very beginning, these teachers were borrowing words from local languages into their writings. For example, after it's called presidente, or what we call this president, because through borrowing words, sent over to had sent over two boys had been fighting. In the Philippine Experiences of an American Teacher by William D. Freer in 1906, the first one experienced is the socio-historical and colonial period. The second is provides early contact and lexical borrowing. So according to William B. Freer, incorporates a substantial number of Philippine words, each chiefly borrowing items from Spanish and Philippine language. He also stated the list of Spanish Philippine terms were 19 words in Tagalog, 7 in Bicol dialect, and 4 in Moco, 2 in Gada, and 1 in Igorot. The list of some Spanish and Philippine terms are camisa or shirt. In Spanish terms, it called camisa, but through Philippine terms, it called a shirt. Centavo or cent, Jews or God, divine or divine, festa festival, fiscal or persecuting attorney, guasas a Diyos or thank God, iglesia church, lavandero or washman, madrina or godmother, maestro a teacher, mayo May, padwa or father, pan or bread, partido or district, porque or why, sin or gulls, C or yes, seven or um, vino or wine. So we also the examples Tagalog labeled words. Anito or the labeled English words of this is called spirit, anting-anting or a magic charm. Bagyo or typhoon. Bolo through its labeled words it called a knife, used for working or fighting. Bori means a species of plant and its fiber. Buyo means mixture of chewing, and kalaw means a bird with spawn bells. Carabao means water buffalo. Ilang-ilang means a tree. Lokban means a grapefruit. And the last one is the malilipot means the cold. So the 7 listed Bicol terms are the bijog means a copper coin. Butiga means a betel nuts, gulay or cooked vegetables, a sauce or a mayo. Nan or pili, a tree means sinapot and bananas fried in babo and a chair carried by men. Those are the 7 Bicol terms or items. We also have the 4 more labeled items. The first one is the barong or warrior's knife, kampilan or a short sword, kris or a two-edged short sword, and paraw or a sailboat. While the 2 words from the Gada dialect are garak or a soul bird, garakera or a plural of garak, and single Igorot item is what we call palupati.
Philippines in Webster's Dictionary. In our quest to identify the various layers of the Philippine English lexicon, we are also drawn to consider the role of Webster Dictionary in codifying a particular word stock in the language, an interesting source of information in contexts such as 1970 study by Yap entitled Filipino Loan Words in English. As Yap explains in her preface, the list contains Philippine words formerly borrowed into American English. The author classifies such items in terms of flora and fauna, example balete, bangkal, carabao, etc. Names of cultural minorities such as aklan, bundok, moroy, etc. and household and cultural items such as anting-anting, balut, patis, tuba, and etc. Yap also comments astutely, most of the words listed date back to the period when the country was under foreign domination. These words give interesting information on the history of foreign contracts with Philippine population and reinforce the dating cultural influences. Very few of the words in the list could be seen as representative of present-day Philippine English in its various manifestations manifestations through the spoken language, television, and print media. Of the total of 287 items in the online Websters, 54.7% were also included in the earlier YAP 1970 list. A check of the OED revealed that 37% of these Webster's words are also included to the Oxford English Dictionary online version. The OED coverage is quite limited, with an overall total of approximately 65 items that might be classified as Philippine English words and expressions. Real Philippine English vocabulary towards a new lexicography. The gap between the archaic lexicon of colonial anthropology to botany represented by Webster words in the reality of English usage in the Philippines today is enormous, not only in the institutionalized Webster lexicon hopelessly archaic, but also the total inadequate to capture the vibrant creativity of hybrid and irreverent topical English in full flight. In the daily newspapers, for example, one finds a wonderful vocabulary of news reporting. Politicians are found guilty of economic plunder or challenged by the press ambush interviews. Corrupt cops are accused of cuddling criminals or multing motorists. Helpless citizens borrow money from 5-6 money lenders. Example, borrowing 5,000 and returning 6 within a month or within a week. Meanwhile, motorists stuck in a traffic and get high blood and frustration. And the affairs of various top-notchers fill the gossip columns. Meanwhile, in the Philippine English vocabulary items derived from normal expansion of reference such as bath, blowout, brownout, fiscalize, motel, province, and top-notcher, the preservation of items lost in a fragment infrequent in other varieties of English. Example for this are city, folk, salon, beyond. Coinage with neologisms such as awardee, capnapper, cockfighter, masteral, studentry, as well as clippings, abbreviations, innovations, and compounds in an aircon promo supermart, Taglish, Trapo, Pondi, Blue Seal, Dirty Kitchen, Macho Dancer. Borrowings such as items borrowed from Philippines language such as lapu-lapu, pasalubong, Pinoy, etc., as well as Spanish, despedida, while in Chinese, feng shui, and other languages. The linguistics research of Bautista and other of the area underpinned one recent attempt by Anvil publisher, Manila, in conjunction of Maquier. The produce of dictionary with a genuine Philippine perspective to use in the nation's high school. The result of this collaboration is Anvil Maquiere Dictionary in Philippine English for high school. Although this might be disregarded as only an initial step towards producing a fuller national dictionary of Philippine English, the specimen items reproduced below give some idea of scope and range of the project. The ethos of the dictionary was explained with a brochure produced by Anvil Macriere to introduce the volume of teachers and to the public, where it is noted that the words are the particular to particular variety of English and developed from the context, both physical and social, of that language community. They are significant because they go to the heart of the local culture and mark out the community as different from others in its history, its way of life as attitudes, and its tradition. The Anvil Macare Dictionary sample entries such as Academian, Advanced, American, Bagoong, Balot, Bedspacer, Blowout, Boss, Bossy, Kalachuchi, Coconut Water, Comfort Noun, Despedida, Dirty Kitchen, Dormit, Duhat, Estafa, and Philippinism. Whether the Philippines educational community is ready to respond positively to the introduction of locally compiled and locally entitled dictionaries in the way of Australian schools and colleges have done since 1980s remains to be seen. This depends on the range of sociolinguistics factors including cruciality and the attitudes of community, both of the teaching community as well as the wider general public. Among teachers and other educators, there are evidences that attitudes to Philippine English have become increasingly positive in recent years. And that's all. Thank you.